Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we're going to ignore the fact that this is a really casual setup. My room's a mess and the lighting's not great. That's because it's torrential rain outside and I really like to use natural light, so we're going to ignore that. I also have no eyelashes on, so ignoring all of this fun stuff. Today I have my emetophobia update kind of video for you because it's been over a year now, nearly a year and a half I think, since I first uploaded the emetophobia video, and I wanted to give an actual update. A lot of you have been asking for this, and I just also want to say in this video thank you so much for the support on that video. I feel like I haven't really said it in video form, but the response has been insane. I asked you over on my Instagram, which you should follow if you aren't already. I asked you over on Instagram to send me some questions about like either my emetophobia, questions you have for me, and this is basically just going to be like my updates video where I let you know where I'm at with it, what the past year and a half's been, all of that fun stuff. How do you cope with TV series / films that show vomit scenes? So I actually tweeted about this recently because I was watching, I think it was Euphoria, and there was just a completely unnecessary vomit scene and I was like, but yeah, I'm usually like fine with it. Like I feel like TV like show vomit doesn't bother me unless I'm having like an anxious nervy night anyway as it is. Then if I see it then, that's when it'll affect me. But like just normally watching TV, it doesn't really bother me too much. Just sometimes I'm like, what's the need? Like it's just a bit grim. But most times like it doesn't affect me like badly. Like I'm not sat there freaking out over it. It doesn't trigger me that way luckily. So I can just watch TV shows and films that involve them and just be like, just a bit unnecessary, but like it's not too much of an ish. I feel as though your phobia is worse during the winter, e.g. when it's sick season. Yes, absolutely. I think I'm anxious a lot more when everyone around me has sickness bugs or like feels ill and stuff like that. I think that's when it really bothers me. Usually I'm okay, like I'm fine with illness. Like if you have a cold, if you have anything that doesn't involve vomit, I'm fine. Like I feel like I'm really good at caring for people. I'm really good at looking after people as long as they don't have a sickness bug. There's a car that's just gone past with its headlights on. Yeah, so like illness doesn't bother me. It is just sickness that bothers me. But yeah, winter does make it difficult because a lot of people do get sickness bugs. So yeah, a little bit of a stressful time. Have you had therapy for it? No, I have not had therapy for it. I have a lot of questions asking if I've gone to like behavioural therapy or CBT. I haven't done any of that. That is just because personally I know it sounds really bad, but I like to deal with things on my own. I don't like to like go and see a therapist. That's just not something that I would feel comfortable doing. However, I do encourage anyone watching this that does suffer with it, if you think that it is getting to the point where you can't live with it anymore, go and see a therapist. I feel very lucky that I didn't ever feel to the point where I'm like, I can't do this anymore, I have to see a therapist. Like it has always just been at a level of this is inconvenient, but it's not making every day a living hell, which I know it can do for some people. So if it does get to that point, I definitely think go and see a therapist. I am going to leave some links in the description just in case any of you that are watching this do have it and want to reach out for help. I'm going to leave some of those links in the description box for you to go and have a look. Are you coping now you're drinking more alcohol? A lot of people asked this actually. A lot of people asked how I'm drinking with this fear and how I am not like freaking out every time I go out. Basically, okay, so I've got to go back a few years. I never thought that I'd drink. Like ever since I was at school, everyone always said to me, what are you going to do at uni? Like how are you going to not drink when you're in that kind of atmosphere? And I used to just be like, I won't, because the fear of losing control was so high and like it just felt like it was something that I could never do. I could never ever allow myself to not be in full control. Makes me a bit of a control freak, but that's just the way it is. I hated the feeling of not being in full control, and drinking would mean that, so that was something that I always wanted to avoid. Obviously as you do get older, it's kind of normal for people to start drinking, and obviously I'm 18 now, so like legally I can drink, and it's not something that I've hidden from my channel. I'm not gonna pretend that I don't drink because that is inauthentic, and as I always say, I try to be 100% authentic with you all. So yes, I show myself drinking, yes I have started to drink, and basically the way it's with my emetophobia is I never started drinking until I felt 100% comfortable with where I was with my emetophobia. So I didn't drink until I think it was last year, which is underage, I don't recommend, but the first time I did have a drink was last year. And it was only at the point that I felt 100% comfortable with myself, and I thought, right, if this does make me sick, I can do that, like I'm okay with that. And I think that is a really big point to get to with something like this, to get to the point where you're like, if I throw up, that's okay. And to get to that point, it does feel really good. Like, I do feel really happy that I am at that point. But also knowing your limits. With my drinking, I do know my limits, and I do know when enough is enough. Granted, I have had on occasion times where I've taken it too far, as has everyone. My 18th birthday, of course I was going to take it too far. But luckily, touch wood, I have not thrown up from alcohol. And I think if the day came that I did throw up from alcohol, I'd be okay. I think I would absolutely freak out, there's no doubt about that, but it wouldn't scar me, because I think it's got to the point now where I'm kind of accepting it a bit more, and accepting that it is a normal thing. And I also am surrounded by the best people in the planet. I'm not going to cry again like I did last time in this video, but yeah, I'm surrounded by some honestly amazing people that they're just there. They're just always there, checking that I'm okay. Even in the clubs, they're like, you good? Like, checking on me constantly. And I just think I have honestly scored it so lucky with the people that I'm surrounded by, because they're just the best people I've ever met. And it's so cheesy, but it's true. Like, they're just the best. So yeah, I think drink with people you're comfortable with. If you're overage, obviously, yeah, just surround yourself with people you're comfortable with. They will make you feel okay, they'll reassure you. And yeah, I feel like I've just rambled. I don't know what I just said for like the past 5 minutes, but yeah. Have you ever felt guilty or selfish when avoiding those who are ill? Yes. I think it's something that a lot of emetophobics kind of feel, is guilt, because I know for a fact that there have been times in the past where I've really just wanted to be there for someone when they're ill, but physically cannot. Like, I cannot do it. Now I can. I have gotten so much better at like supporting people when they're ill. I have been there for friends when they've been being sick and been fine. Like, I've managed to look after them, and that feels really good, because it is something that I used to not be able to do. So your card just got full again. Yeah, I think it is something that definitely happens. You do feel guilty, you do feel bad, but recently I have gotten to the point where I am able to look after people a bit more, and it is something that I like, because I really like looking after people anyway. So getting to look after them when they're ill is something that I've always wanted to be able to do, but I can now, which feels good. What's emetophobia? Should have answered this at the very beginning. I don't know why this is the question that I left until near the end. Emetophobia is a fear of vomit. I did do a whole video on it. Go and check it out if you haven't already. It'll be linked in the description. How does it affect your day-to-day life? So in the beginning, it definitely affected my life every day. It was something that was always on my mind. I kind of couldn't leave the house without thinking about it. I kind of couldn't go to bed without thinking about it. It was one of them things where it was always there. Whereas nowadays, and this is the update that obviously everyone's been waiting for, nowadays it is at the point where I don't think about it unless I start to feel it, which is something really good. I eat in restaurants now, which is something that I never thought I'd do. If you see on my Instagram story, I'm always at a restaurant. I'm just always there. Nando's. Never used to eat Nando's because I always used to be terrified of getting poisoned. Now I practically have run half of their business for them. Yeah, it's something that with time and with the right people around you, it does get better. And it is definitely something that I never thought I'd feel okay with. It's not to say that I don't have it anymore, because of course I do. There are still times where I'm sat there and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be sick, like panicking. But it's not something that affects my everyday life anymore. It's not something that's constantly on my mind. It's not something that I consider when planning anything. Like, it's just something that, yes, it's there. It's always gonna be there. It's never gonna completely disappear. That's just the way it is. But it's something that nowadays I feel isn't as much me. Because I feel like when I first started to have it, and I started to have it intensely, I kind of felt like I was gonna be emetophobia forever. Like, I was never gonna be the person that can eat out. I can never eat. I can never go out drinking with my friends when I'm older. I can never do this. I can never do that. I can never go on holiday with my friends in case I feel sick and panic. I went to Madrid and I was fine. Like, yes, there was a moment where I was freaked out because I felt sick, but it didn't kill me. Like, it wasn't the end of the world, even though it can feel like that at times. It's not, and it does get better. And I think it's so reassuring to hear that, because especially when I first started watching videos on emetophobia to try and figure out if I had it, it was one of them things where it was like, these people are so much better. Why, like, when will that be me? But yeah, I don't really have any tips on how I actually got to this place where I feel okay, apart from just living. Just live, honestly. Like, it sounds so basic, but just realise that you are stronger than your brain. And I know that that sounds dumb, because no one's stronger than their brain, surely, but you are. Like, everything that you feel physically when you are having this freak out is because you think that you are feeling it, and half the time you're not. And that is something that it took me so long to realise, that when I started to feel sick, I felt like I was going to be sick, I kind of sat there for a minute and I was like, right, what are the chances of me being sick right now when I have felt 100% fine all day? There is nothing wrong. Like, there's no illness that's going around. There's this, there's that, and kind of just check it off in your head and think, okay, this is all in my head. This is not gonna happen. And then just kind of relax, distract yourself, text people. 8-ball pool is something that I have been playing for a year and a half now. Ever since I made that first video, 8-ball pool still remains. If I'm ever feeling stressed out, I'll just send an 8-ball pool to someone and just play a game. Or I'll watch an episode of Glee, or I'll just relax, because it's all in your head at the end of the day. That's what it is. It's all in your head, and it's so annoying. But that's what mental health is. Everything is in your head. And if you can get to that point where you're like, right, this is silly, I am fine, I need to just stop, take a minute, have a breather, and just think, is this life or death? Like, think of the worst possible thing that could happen is you being sick. And I know that when you're at the worst point, it feels like that is the end of the world, because I've been there. And the thought of being sick is like, oh my god, like, there's nothing else, I can't do it, I can't do it. What happens after that? Because after you've been sick, that's it. And that's the end of it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you've been sick and then you drop dead. Like, that's it. And I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. I hope that any of this video makes sense. But that's my only advice, is to just mind over matter. Matter over mind? Mind over matter? Is it mind over matter? Okay, so I think that that is all of the questions that I'm going to answer. I am just going to end this video off by saying, if you do think you might have this, if you have anything similar to kind of what I've mentioned in this video, please check out the links in the description. And I just want to end by saying thank you so much for watching. And yeah, just a little final word from me. If you do have this already, or you do think you are suffering from it, just know that use me as living proof that it does get better. I'm not 100% cured. I'm never going to be 100% cured. And it's not going to be something that I'm never going to think about, because it's been a massive part of my life for the past, coming up to like 10 years, that emetophobia has been a thing for me. And I think that even when it was at its worst, it can feel like it's never going to go, it's never going to ease up, it's never going to get better than it is. But I promise you, it does. You will be able to have fun, you will be able to go on holiday with your friends, you will be able to drink when you are of age, obviously, and yeah, you'll be able to do all the things that you never thought you could, and when you do, it feels amazing. So it does get better. Please check out the links in the description if you need any help with anything, and I will see you again very soon with another video. Bye!